Welcome to African Teapot Podcast. My name is Exy.
And my name is Lini. Join us as we journey through Africa's vast variety of culture and heritage.
We explore issues most African families face, both home and abroad. Make sure to like, share, and follow this podcast. Join the conversation on social media and let your voice be heard. Hello, guys, and welcome to another episode on African Teapot. And today's episode is titled Africans in the Social Media World. And before we get into all of that sweet stuff, of course, I'm usually not by myself. So, Lini, how are you?
Hey, people. It's Lini, and we're here again. And you know what today is?
April Fools!
Yoo-hoo!
You know what would have been a good April Fool's one?
What?
Put like a complete promo for the episode and everything and then drop nothing.
That's good.
That would have been... But the thing is just, I don't know how the people would have taken it.
We could do that right now. We could take off these mics, climb into bed.
Okay, guys, yeah. So that was the episode today. April Fool, so...
Goodbye.
See you guys next time. But anyways, it's April Fools and hopefully people don't...
What
We're
is April Fools, actually?
I guess...
We
Peekaboo? A big game of peekaboo.
Maybe next year we'll figure out what April Fool's is.
I guess social media will be booming with memes.
It will be.
Of people pranking people.
I'm thinking of the future. Because this is not April 1st,
This is not actually
right?
April 1st today that we're recording, but it's interesting that we're already talking about
But
Saturday. But we are airing today, Saturday.
But we get to leave the day twice.
Actually, yeah. So this is Saturday in the alternate universe what?
You sound like one of the producers of Flash.
Yeah, Ant-Man or Flash. Yeah, one of them. Either DC or
The
MCU.
multiverse.
The multiverse.
Okay, you know.
So in this line of the multiverse, it's Saturday. But when we go to the other timeline that will be created because Flash went back in the past.
To save... Which version of his mom is he saving this time?
The cool mom. Let's just put it that way. I don't know.
I mean, he has a traumatic childhood. You know, adulthood.
Actually.
How many times has watched his mom died so far?
Like, then at one point he went to stop the other one from...
Did I say watch his mom died? Watch his mom died. What did I say?
I don't know, but whatever we said is April Fool's. So...
Ha! Psych!
Anyways, maybe we should do movie reviews at some point. I'm thinking one of the episodes this year, we should come and do reviews like some of the African movies or series that we watch on Netflix. Also.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just so people, promote the culture out here a little bit so that they can go listen to it and have a little watch it.
I have such a good idea. What if the next season we just talk, growing up, there were certain sounds when you hear movies, you know what's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
There was a sound where this person was going to get buried, somebody's wife was going to get stolen.
Or someone was poisoning somebody's food.
We're taking meat from the pot.
Okay, guys, but all in that sweet stuff. I think what we are saying still ties to today's episode. Africans in the social media world. So, yes, on social media, we're kind of MIA there. Sorry about that, but...
Life got stressful.
The life was lifing.
Yeah. Like, I was trying to life, but life was lifing me.
Exactly. And I was out of sorts. I didn't have a voice. And now I think you can still even hear my voice is a bit crackly.
Edna is the social media presence of African Teapot. And so...
Let me sip some water.
Yeah. Your homegirl over here couldn't keep up. So in solidarity, I decided to, sit with my sister. And she coughed. I was so sick.
This is one of the worst colds I've had that I can remember. Who is down with a cold for 2 weeks? Like, even now, I'm not 100%. If you can hear, I'm still sounding weird. I don't understand. I had to do the COVID test because for a second, Lini was like, Edna, you had to go do COVID test because I was convinced I had COVID. And then only to go and it was like negative and it was just a cold. Like, no, this was just wild.
That's crazy.
It was crazy.
Well, I wish I had an excuse like Edna's where I was sick. I just, I don't know. I've taken on more projects.
You were busy. I've taken on
more projects, more than I've taken on in a couple years, and I'm still figuring out time management.
But the good thing, guys, is the projects that we're working on, and I actually commend Lini because she kind of like has really pushed. We did the planning process, and then when it came to the like launching the productivity part of it, she started it while I'm lazy on it. And then on the social media side, she's lazy while I was doing that part.
Not a big social media girl.
Yeah. So, but thankfully, all the projects that we said, I think a couple of episodes ago, or maybe towards the end of last season, that we said we're going to launch into, we actually have. At least we've gotten the groundwork covered. If it's paperwork that had to be done, we've actually done that. I think everything that we've even put paperwork has come back like it's good. It's just different stages of the production.
It was just everything you're doing at the same time. And I have 2 arms, 2 feet, 1 brain, and I can only see one direction at a time.
But as we walk behind the scenes on it and the production is going on for all of these different things, we would be unveiling them one at a time. We don't want to jinx anything. I'm actually excited when they get to see some of the projects. Yeah. It's more than one, guys. That's to show you how, when you guys will see it, then you understand how busy.
But on the other hand, maybe if we actually talked about this episode.
The topic? Okay, but so we've taken 6 minutes to talk about how our 3 weeks MIA on social media went. But you haven't, if you're listening to this, you haven't missed any episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
The podcast schedule is right on schedule. We didn't miss any episodes. So, getting into Africans in the social media world, I want to say, I think the birth of that was when Hello Moto, the cell phone being introduced in our African markets. I would personally say that's where I would generally say social media kind of like was introduced in a sense, because at least at that point, you could easily pick up the phone and chit-chat or gossip with someone on the other end.
When someone says, and guys, this is conversation-based. Let's not get too sciencey over here. When someone says social media, what is the first thing that like comes to your mind?
I think of anything that facilitates communication with someone that if that thing wasn't there, you probably wouldn't have a chance to. That's how I see social media.
And that's how you can see what social media means to people. Like, you went for communication, and the first thing I can think of is, Instagram.
Oh, I thought of cell phones first.
Like, I'm getting what you're saying, but I'm just saying it's crazy how it's like this.
I get what you're saying. The moment you say that, people thinking of social media network platforms.
Yeah. Like, TikTok, Instagram. Guys, I'm not
Snapchat.
a big social media person, so, I completely forgot about that. Facebook. Indeed counts.
I think Indeed does.
LinkedIn?
WhatsApp?
LinkedIn?
I think WhatsApp too counts.
Yeah.
WhatsApp
Is
now
it
has this.
LinkedIn?
Yeah, LinkedIn. It's okay. The link something.
Oh my goodness.
I sip on water again, guys. If I'm coughing, just bear with me. I beg you guys.
I can't talk this episode. I lost my skills, I guess. But
I think they're a lot more. I know somebody can easily say, what's the other one? That Black China
YouTube.
Is so bigger. Oh, YouTube is one. Someone would tell you, someone would say OnlyFans.
I mean,
Tinder.
Oh, yeah.
Is Tinder still a thing?
Girl, yes.
Oh, Twitter.
Oh, how dare we forget about
Twitter? Twitter's one.
The king. We dare forget about Twitter.
Oh my God. But yeah, so when we say social media, I think I get your point. Most people go to the platforms, like social media platforms. But when we talk of social media, for me, I immediately went to communication. The moment communication became so fast, to me, I think that's when social media started. That's how I see it.
Like, do you feel like when you... Conspiracies. Mm-hmm. There were regular phones, like, all you did was call, receive calls, text, basic phones. Basically, what in my mind went, if someone says analog phone...
Oh.
And then...
True. I didn't think of phones way back.
With the birth of smartphones came social media. Do you think the smartphones birthed social media?
Yeah.
Were smartphones created for social... So this is a conspiracy. Smartphones were created and they brought social media.
Media.
So everyone gets into this smartphone because you couldn't have it with your other phone.
Yeah, because, I mean, the home phones, you just couldn't do anything with them past phone calls.
Guys, I am so smart.
You couldn't even text people.
Exactly.
I remember we had one at home growing up.
Yeah. The little circuit
The
thing
little,
you do.
we had to put the, oh my God. And then later on, they went to the Camtel one. The black city phone, Camtel phone.
There was Alcatel, right?
Camtel and Alcatel, I think.
Right?
Where's the word Alcatel from?
Good question.
Anyways, guys, we were young, so there are chances that we may be switching these names, but I know Camtel is one.
Yeah,
we definitely had the city phone, Camtel. You just punch the buttons, but I get what you're saying. All you could do was set up voice messaging. They could set up voice messaging and that's it. You couldn't text or anything with the phone. And then came the Motorola's and Nokia's and all of that, the birth of smartphones. And they were like the technology they used on it. Remember, it had the aerials on it, the antennas on it, the first phones. Yeah,
those came, Blackberries, like there's all this stuff. And when social media came around, the world became one.
It was global village.
Yeah, everyone can see everyone, and anyone can say anything and get away with it. And I think you should tell this story because you actually told me about it. The girl who committed suicide. Because,
Okay, let's put it this way. So, in the course of our 3 weeks of MIA, of posting on social media and everything, and I was feeling crappy with no voice, but for some reason my eyes were working. And so I'm here browsing on social media. When I had one of the days I was feeling slightly better, I went on Instagram because I was on Instagram for days. I went on there and I went on one of these pages. It's called Better Teens, and it's Cameroon based kind of news. And there was this was just last week, I believe. It's last week. So this is still something that is so hot going on the blogs and everything in Cameroon. There's this girl attending the University of Buea, a university student. She's 21. She was 21 years old, and she was a final year student. And they woke up in the morning, allegedly, because I'm just reporting what I see. It's not like I did my own deepest research on it. So allegedly, she took her life. Hopefully I can say this. She, how do they say? She by herself. Like I hear them on social media trying to keep the words away from, certain words, from using certain words. So she deleted herself. And she did this by buying and consuming medications for rodents, for rats. Like rat poisons. So she consumed that and deleted herself. And it's alleged that this is over a boyfriend. So there are contradicting stories about it, but what I gathered so far that I think was echoing the same through all of the madness was she was co-living, or she was living with the boyfriend. And then they broke up. And he claims, because he sent out messages and voice notes, he claimed that he was trying to get some money so that he could rent a place for her, so she could move out. But they had broken up. And then on the other hand, her friend came out. All of this now is after she's passed. Her best friend came out and said, well, he used to abuse her and he was cheating on her. And she had kind of moved out a week before she deleted herself. So it's kind of contradicting there. But one thing for sure is they weren't together anymore. And she didn't like it. She was upset about it. That plays a role in it, some way, shape, or form. But she took her life.
Yeah.
So,
then
I didn't like... Okay, go ahead.
Then, what were you saying? Then comes the comments underneath. How dare she do that? What one of the comments?
One of the comments were like, if that girl's deleted body, if you understand, guys, follow us, but that girl's deleted body, we need to flog it.
Yeah, like you need to find the dead girl and like beat her, her
yeah,
lifeless body.
yeah,
And someone's like, where are even her parents? But in Cameroon, like, where are her parents safe that she's living with a boyfriend?
yeah.
Like,
And then there was another one. So for her to concentrate on school, she was concentrating on doing bad stuff with boys. So, and she's very selfish for deleting herself. She's, all of those kinds of mean comments.
So I'm sure now you're starting to see why we told the story and how it leads to social media. When I said anyone can say anything, I think this needs to be a story, like a conversation as a whole. I think this needs to be a conversation on its own, like a topic on its own. Because suicide, it's something that always seems like a foreign concept, but it's becoming more and more prominent in our society. And rather than us saying what we're saying, how about we try to find why it's becoming prevalent in our society?
Right.
First of all, I would think there's social media. There's comparison. I'm 25. What am I doing? I'm looking at another 25-year-old somewhere who's posting a car, who's posting money everywhere. And there's all these things. This girl, you're telling her where her parents and everything. Do you think you can hurt for the parents more than you're hurting for themselves and your daughter?
Facts.
Like, they are hurting. When someone commits suicide, like I always say to anyone, because that's how I see it, it's because they don't see hope. They don't commit suicide because they're thinking of you or you. It's because they think of them. And do you know what? Like, when you say it's hopeless and you just say it, no. Like, go into the mind of someone. If you go into the mind of someone who's thinking of killing themselves or has killed themselves, the last thing they see is hopelessness. I don't care if they're being blackmailed for something, they're hopeless, they don't see how they'll get out of it. A family member died, they're hopeless, they don't see how they'll get out. A loved one broke up with them, they don't see how they can move past that. They can't afford their next meal, they kill themselves, they're not sure, they fail an exam. Like, it's all hopelessness. I can see how it looks selfish for you who is here and you're like, I would have been with you, but they saw hopelessness. They didn't see the selfishness. They didn't see the hope. So you stop being selfish, stop making it about you. And if you don't have empathy and compassion, how about you move yourself from the situation?
Right.
You didn't have to leave a comment. If you, what Lyric says, if you've got nothing nice to say, don't say a word. Move along. The world is a better place without your words.
True.
Anyways, that's my 2 piece.
No, what you were saying was so on point, and you were just spitting out facts that I had like 4 or 5 different ideas coming, but I didn't want to interrupt because what you were saying is important for people to hear and understand. And a twisted side to it is, I am thankful, this is, bear with me until I finish, but I am thankful that these things make themselves on blogs and pages and accounts, or however you choose to see it, or podcasts like we're discussing. These things make themselves out there because it makes there is some transparency for you to understand how ignorant we are. Because sometimes you don't know some people are this ignorant, or not really ignorant, but sometimes really unplugged when it comes to empathy and and just being considerate to other people's plight and pain. It is alarming. I mean, when you go there and you read the comments, and then I watched a podcast, a Cameroonian who's hosting a podcast, and he was talking, he had a guest, and we're talking about this. This was 2 days ago. I literally was literally doing a back and forth with other people on the comment section, because if I was just thinking that if I'm a family member who is reading the comments and listening to these people who host this, I'm telling you guys, this is quite immediate, right? And people are saying these things. I'm like, do you understand how the family members feel when they read these comments? Or you guys cursing on the guy, the boyfriend, and saying he should go delete his own self because he's the one that caused the breakout. The girl to take her life. I'm like, you guys, suicide is not just a social thing. It is a social thing, true. We should talk about it socially, but it's more or less like a health. You know what I'm saying?
And sometimes
it's more like a sickness before it's even a social something.
Health concerns, and our culture
doesn't see that.
I do not believe we believe in mental health. We don't. And it's the world of social media brings so much into play. You're seeing things you would never have seen anywhere else.
Exactly. I saw comments that I didn't know in this damn day and age. People can say that. On
social media, we Africans are loving. We believe in one culture, one community. And
help your neighbor.
Why do we choose to join social media and turn it into I believe we are baseline nice. I do not see an excuse for us to do this. I do not remember anything that was instilled in me that allows this to be okay. Be compassionate. When you're not sure what to say, be quiet. You can learn. You do not agree with it, you are allowed to make your objections. But how about not during a time of pain on someone's death? How about all I'm asking is let these people grieve.
I agree.
Let these people grieve.
I agree. And there's one thing I also want to say. I don't want this to become today's topic was about, suicide, or today's topic was about deleting themselves. Because we are trying not to make it that. Remember, we had the conversation. We really didn't want to make it, but wanted to just chime in what the impact of social media does. In as much as it brings exposure of the deed, right? I feel like it also exposes the ignorance that we have as a community. Mm-hmm. It exposes what we know and what we don't know, if that makes sense. You kind of see the kind of information we have, and then you see the kind of information that we lack, kind of. Mm-hmm. You see it, and then at the same time, you realize that we would like to sit and say, oh, bullying is a lack of a better word, guys, and I say this in quotes, even though I'm still saying this respectfully. It's a Western thing. It's a Western culture. It's a white man's culture. No, bullying is everywhere. Suicide, mental issues are everywhere. People have been deleting themselves in Africa from the moment that was a thing. And the rise of it is because the rate of suicide is on a rise across the globe since the pandemic hit. You get what I'm saying? So instead of sitting there on the comment sections and saying they're copying, how ignorant do you have to be to say someone is copying suicide from the Western culture? And then the same thing, you're like, depression is real. I'm like, so if depression is real and you kind of know what depression, how can the same comment
is fake? Is she about to wake up?
No, the same person in the same comment is saying depression is real. Then at the same time is saying the culture of suicide is being copied from somewhere else. I'm like, doesn't that sound? It's almost like two separate people writing the same comment at the same time. I didn't quite understand it. And it was just a lot going on. I replied to some or whatever. They had to pin my comments a couple of times and read it, because I'm like, first and foremost, when it comes to mental health, depression is just one aspect of it. It's one out of 1,000 different things that could mentally be wrong with somebody. But it seems the only thing that has seeped through the minds of Africans, especially Cameroonians, because we are, is depression. Anything that comes on, oh, they're depressed. I'm depressed. Mental health, I'm depressed. You just don't sit in your house and self-diagnose yourself or self-diagnose other people. You're not a health professional. You didn't examine this person. You get what I'm saying? Quit acting like the expert when somebody is truly not here with us anymore. Guys, you should be extending words of condolence. You should be encouraging the family members, providing prayer. Are we serious as a culture? When did we deviate from holding each other's hand through problems? Africans, when did that stop being a thing? And now it's about who can throw the most curses, or not curses, but insults, or act like they know it all underneath the comment section, and then blame the Western section or blame people that live in the diaspora. How does that make any sense? How can we as a culture evolve or move forward? And then you have women saying that where was the girl's mother to let her go? You are a woman and you're a mom. Why would you is there any parent, the average parent, would the average parent wish for their kid to be dead? Most parents want to give up their life for the sake of their kids. So you can't be another fellow woman somewhere insulting a grieving mom and saying she caused or she wasn't there and that's why her daughter is no more. Like, guys, it's just appalling. I'm sorry, I've just had my own rant moment, but and this just goes to grief. This goes to anything. You see it underneath. If it's a situation going on about rape, it's a situation going on about stealing, about petty theft, anything. We Africans, we are just insensitive. Just because what you're saying is right doesn't mean that it's the right time to say it. You see it. If someone has been sexually assaulted, that's not the time to be preaching about short skirts and shorts. Yeah, you can have a different day to talk about decent dressing, but at that moment, we are addressing, you know what I'm saying, the perpetrator. How about that? When someone breaks and steals into someone's home, what do? They address the thieves the moment they're caught. You don't let the thieves go and spend the time educating the person on how he should lock his doors and windows. You get what I'm saying? After you've apprehended the criminals, you get what I'm saying? Then you can tell this person, next time, lock your doors, lock your windows. I can't call you and tell you I've been robbed and you're telling me how next time. Well, we're going to let the robbers go today because you didn't lock your doors and windows. That doesn't make sense. We are not going to be with you in this moment because you lost your daughter. We're going to tell you how much of a bad parent you were. Like, how does that help us move as a society? We need to be careful on social media. Like, we really need to be careful. And I think it's the ability to be conspicuous. Nobody sees your face. So nobody attaches, sorry to say, the idiocy you're typing to your face. You want to look at them. Many of these people typing things are learned. Like, you go to school. Like, they go to school. Like, I don't get it. But anyways, Lini, I think I've ranted enough.
Okay, peeps. There's a lot of feelings moving in there, but we started with the down stuff, or the pitch is gonna up itself. But it's on to another thing I've seen. I don't want to call the name of any shows or anything because I don't want. We are not promoting any shows. I don't want to make it be about the show because it's not. It's about a lesson that's gone from there. So we go into social media. You post a picture. Oh, you're cute. You're adorable. And then comes the troll. Then comes the person who is like, "Chai, how'd I get I fat so?" Translation: wow, see me, I had to change the chat. Wow, why your eyes so big? Like, I'm not saying you can't say stuff, but again, if you've got nothing nice to say, don't say it. Growing up in school, everyone knows what bullying is. They take your lunch, they shove you, they push you, they make you feel small, they make you feel insignificant. What bullies want is to make there's one concept: make you feel less than I am.
Yes.
Doesn't matter how they bully you, the medium in which they do it, who does it. That's the goal. On social media, that's what we do. You post your picture, you post whatever. I bully you. I chase you. I try to make you feel small. I try to make you feel useless. They try to make you feel it's not all that. I'm making myself better than you. I'm trying to tell you it's not all that. Everyone can say, I'm tough. I don't let bullying get to me. Girl, bullying gets to me.
It gets to everybody.
Some people handle it really well. They come on top of it. They stay on top of it. That doesn't mean shove open my feelings, my heart, and it's there. And
anyways, it's something you said that, and I just wanted to throw this in. Just because I'm good at handling a situation doesn't mean that I'm not affected by it.
True.
You get what I'm saying? Sometimes there's that misconception. You speak to someone, it's like, oh, Edna, maybe you're tough, or Edna, you're hardened, or something. That doesn't mean because I have coping skills, maybe slightly better than yours, doesn't mean that the same thing isn't affecting me. It is. So how about we equip ourselves, which is generally what we are saying here, on how to handle issues, rather than thinking that you are the pro at handling the issue.
Yeah, I know on social media you can report comments, you can report accounts and all these things, but
It's still not enough.
Sometimes it gets overwhelming. I'm just asking our community. Everyone's not perfect. I'm not perfect. I best believe when I post a picture and someone says, "Oh, you look cute." If they zoomed in, looked at every pore, whatever they want to look at, there's something.
Yeah,
there
you
that's
figure
not
out I have
perfect.
cooked teeth. You figure out
Like,
I have huge paws.
Yeah, you see something. My only thing is, why is it making you feel better to make someone feel that way? Then it comes to the point where people go on there, it's sometimes they go after your look, sometimes they go after your person, your family, your friends, your job. Why are we doing that? I believe social media is created for love, communication, interaction, one big
Unfortunately, it's
social
been
market.
infected.
Why are we doing that?
It's been infected. Social media has been infected. And honestly, guys, when we are saying this, we have experienced it, right? But I'm not going to say here that I've experienced it to a larger scale, like maybe celebrities or like the family of this girl.
But just some everyday people
Yeah,
who are unfortunate to be victims of cyberbullying.
Exactly. We have experienced it here. We have reported accounts. We have run away from certain and blocked certain accounts. I mean, when we do certain topics, there are some specific topics that were harsh because people just didn't take it. And people don't know how to say what they have in their mind without belittling you or making you feel like you were stupid for saying it in the first place. And that's the point that we are stamping out, and that's what we are saying it's not necessary. And echoing on exposure, I also believe that social media has gotten to the point where we now have it in our homes, right? Sometimes it's easy to say, well, the person typing is just typing because they're on the keyboard. But there are some people, how they look, sound, and write on social media is how they are at home. That's how some people are.
I mean, it's both.
When you talk to them at home, like the person saying you copied, suicide from the Western world. They think that. They're just not saying it on social media. At home, if you ask them, they're still going to say that. So sometimes somebody will be like, well, it's just social media. It's not a big deal. It is a big deal because it shows how many of us are infected with a specific narrative, with a particular narrative. If you have 500 comments saying the same thing and that thing is dangerous and they're threatening someone, that matters because it's not like a robot sitting at the back of the account. It's a person who is sitting out there, and for some reason they feel they're an expert to say it, or for some reason they're getting a rise out of saying it. So we need to be very careful with that. And it affects, and social media, going to the next point, social media affects our personal lives a lot. People take things on social media and apply in their marriages, apply in their relationships, their friendships. They take advice from people that are not equipped to give you advice.
But on the other hand, on social media too, you have, like, when you see all this, you see a page as like a motivational speaker, there are people who are actually aimed at helping people. Like, social media didn't just come with all doom and gloom, right? Even when you come in with this exposure, like mental health exposure, while there are people who are
berating people,
banging on that girl, there's someone who is shedding the positive light, like mental health awareness, take care of yourself, do the things you love. There's all that. And even the African culture itself, social media exposed it.
True.
When they thought of Africans, you would not believe what people had in mind. But now you see the Ankara is everywhere. The food is everywhere.
True.
Even though it was used for some silly things on social media, we will not go there.
Fufu challenges.
Yeah, but it brought us forward. Like, people are surprised. There are houses, there's movies, there's music. Like, there's so much.
African music and movie has gone really far because of social media.
That's social media. So I believe social media has so much
to offer,
so much beauty,
and that was why it was created in the first place. That is why it was created in the first place.
Because I'm telling you something, every time someone walks up to me and talks about something about Cameroon, Africa in general, or another country, Mexico or wherever, it's social media.
It is.
People did not barely look it up on Google. They did not take it from the news. They got it from social media. Our clothes, like, when we even go to the business side of it,
True.
what social media.
Look at what we are doing right
business?
here. What are we doing right now?
Spotify is social media.
Yeah, what are we doing right now?
YouTube.
This right here is social media. I think business, like you're saying, you can get help off of social media. You can get awareness off of social media. You can start off a business, or you can make something that is like something you're passionate about. You can earn a living from it, right? You can earn income or side hustles or whatever. A rise of that came from social media. But what in essence we are saying as a people and culture is that there is nothing that you consume without checking that doesn't have negative effects to it, right? And because we think social media is so passive, I think that's why it's having such I would dare say a deadly impact in our homes. There are some homes that are broken up today, not because the people in there couldn't sacrifice to be in there, but because they were taking advice off of social media. I'm telling you, a lot of people have testified to things like that. There are many people that didn't know there was something called vaping. They saw it on social media. They didn't know that there's a certain style you're supposed to do or whatever. They saw it on social media.
The one thing I beg,
we just don't know how to use it properly.
What I'm trying to beg that, can I see, when I scroll my feed, can I see less twerking?
I kind of don't see it anymore. You know why? Because you have to actively go in there. It takes a long time. And literally clean your feet.
Like when what was that challenge called? During COVID, the red light. You remember when the red light was
Is it the silhouette? Something about the silhouette.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Yo, that was some... Okay, that was some stuff over there. Don't want to say anything about it, but that was some stuff. But again, as we are saying, you know what else? Social media brought? Sliding into them DMs, girl.
Oh man. Woo.
Like sliding into the DMs, there's many kinds, but there's one I'm really interested in. You are the love of my life. Like, but do you know it's crazy when you ask some people how do you meet? Cute social media,
especially Facebook.
Yes.
And TikTok. I'm hearing a lot of people meeting on Facebook and TikTok.
There's Facebook dating.
I was like, you met on off of TikTok? It's like, yeah, I met my husband on TikTok.
I don't know. There's you know he's a really tall guy. I can't believe I forgot his name, but famous off of TikTok. Now is a model.
Is it that
tall, dark?
I can't remember his name.
Like I think he's a success story.
Off of social media.
I have nothing to do with his success, but I am hailing his success.
Social media, even, what are we saying? Even Justin Bieber is a result of social media. That's where he was exposed, right? Wasn't he seen on YouTube and then got on the Ellen Show?
Yeah.
And that's his story today. So many people have been exposed or where they were meant to be, or their life fulfillment has come via social media. But what in essence I'm trying to say is that even though you can have personal growth off of social media, you can start up a business or benefit from a business, we need to consume things intelligently. When someone presents information to you, one, you need to check the credibility of what they're saying. We on the show, like on our show, we've never claimed to be experts in, like, I am not a counselor, right? I'm not a psychiatrist. You get what I'm saying? That's not what we're doing over here. But we are sharing our information based off of being part of that community. So when I'm talking about Africa, I am African. When I'm talking, my examples are from Cameroon, it's from Cameroon. And when I want to bring out details, I state the sources and I tell you where to go verify the sources for yourself. I don't claim to be the one that has made the sources. I just don't come in here and say 20% of people eat bananas. No, we do research. And when you're doing research, please, guys, don't go off of sites like Wikipedia where anybody can write. You need to kind of like, you know what I'm saying, veto where you're getting your information.
Do you know one place that hands out information and like WhatsApp?
Oh my God.
It's the end of the world.
Oh my God.
Drinking palm oil cures cancer, cirrhosis, diabetes, hypertension, UTI. Yo, I get some things are medicinal, but so this thing is curing diseases that are genetic, GI, GU,
it's
cardiovascular.
It's curing bacteria and viruses and fungi.
It's even curing vitamin deficiencies, like.
And guess what, guys? We don't mean treating. I mean curing.
Yeah, curing is when it's gone.
It's gone.
Treating is like handling
the situation.
Living with it, handling the
You
situation.
treat HIV, you treat diabetes. But when you hear someone saying you drink palm wine and cure HIV, like, you need to take that kind of information with a grain of salt and do research for yourself. That's what I'm saying. When Lini and I say anything on our show, we always say, okay, guys, let us know what you think. Or we put the sources on our show notes, and you can go there and verify for yourself. Go to the CDC and verify what you're saying. What we are saying did not come off of some page or blog off of Facebook. That's why even with this girl, I said true. I can verify she passed because there are pictures about it, but I can't verify the details. And that's why I said allegedly, right? Yeah. We allegedly said it because I wasn't there as a journalist to cover what I'm saying. And the sources that I saw it are not, what can I say, verified sources. You understand? They're bloggers here and there. It's not like Al Jazeera or BBC said something. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to say is be careful when you get information from somebody who is trying to pass off as an expert, and there's really no credibility to what they're saying. I don't want to say here that just people with degrees know what they're talking about, but if someone is telling, because some people think, well, this person is not educated enough to tell me. No, that's not what we're saying. We need you to substantiate what you're saying. If you're saying palm wine
and the
cures HIV, right? Show us the data. Show us the information.
My problem is someone says something and it's this automated computer voice, or when someone says, oh, it's the end of the world, God. And you're seeing scenes from a movie and someone's calling you, is the world really ending?
Especially our older uncles and aunties, they fall for things like that, unfortunately.
Can y'all stop giving them a heart attack? But you know what? As long as you take social media and you decide to use it as a community, as a village, to share love, support one another, learn from it, grow from it, it will be like the best thing we've got. It is the best thing we've got. Like, you see these people who have all these shows back home. It's cooking shows.
Oh, yeah.
All of these things, they're reaching people
far and wide.
You see someone walk up to you, please, I need you to make me jollof rice. How'd they know about it? They saw it on social media. People are benefiting businesses from it. I've seen people on social media, they make things back home, like, you know, there's little hats they make, or jewelry, or these robes that's
now you have designers with, popping out of there,
and Ankara designs, and they ship them here, like they buy it from there to here. That's social media. Instead of the time you took to write that terrible, horrible, self-diminishing comment is the time that person took to make that bonnet and that robe and earn $15,000 for themselves. How about you, next time you're about to send a post that's about to hurt someone, you think about that. Use it to grow yourself. Don't hurt me. Help yourself.
True. So in essence, guys, what we are trying to say, in essence and in a nutshell, is social media is a great tool to advance yourself and to advance ourselves and expose our community positively. And it is also a way to x-ray our community so that we can be better. Okay? We are not saying any community is best, because through social media, you see, you're fighting hunger in Nigeria, they're fighting hunger in another country that you thought that country was better than yours. They're fighting hunger in Cameroon, or healthcare system in Cameroon, and you were shocked to see what is happening in Haiti. You get what I'm saying? Then you figure out your situation ain't that bad. So what we are saying is that in as much as it's exposing things, you need to realize that it can also expose how backward thinking you are. So instead of just sitting there consuming social media for hours and hours a day, the statistics of how many people or how many hours the average person consumes social media a day is staggering. But this conversation today is more about the gisting. We'll look for a different topic and a different day to go into the data so you can see how alarming we are saying. What we are just trying to say is social media is serious. Gone are the days we usually say, it's just Facebook. It's just people's that. Please.
Lives have been ruined on social media.
This girl, like Lini is saying, probably took her life, probably spent a long time struggling with issues, And maybe it was super amplified by social media. Because you're comparing your car with the other person's car. You're comparing, this girl is 30, she's married with kids, has a car, a house, husband, and me, I don't have that. So it amplifies things we have. Okay? So when it comes to depression, it comes to suicide or whatever, before somebody is committing suicide, that person has been having issues. And then something just amplified something. You get what I'm saying? You can't just come sit there, you don't know someone, and pinpoint what their problem was. Like, we need to stop it. And stop sitting in your house and saying, oh, it's just Facebook, it's just TikTok. Make sure you check what your child is consuming on social media. Make sure you understand. You talk to your kids and see if these woke mentalities out here that can be so damaging has started infecting your children, because it's rampant. You have dangerous information being passed across via social media.
But in general, you know what I think? I think we Africans are actually embracing social media and using it, because usually when I look on social media, we're using it more for like business and exposure.
And I love that part.
So to me, that is the part where like I see Africans, like sometimes the things we create and the things we send out there, and I'm like, wow.
Guys, let's keep doing that.
That's my person. You know?
And then let's show that other side we have. That side of community where your neighbor is nosy just to help you. Please, let's start doing that. And when you're telling someone that they're copying an aspect from the social media world or from the Western world, also know that's kind of what you're doing. When you're dropping the comments there, that's also cyberbullying. So I can say you copied that from the Western world. Did you? So please, we are all learners here, work in progress. We are all learning how to use social media, right? And be woke, but use it intelligently, and let's use it to promote our culture and just be having fun out here. I like watching things coming out, African content, because I'm not there, right? So I miss it. It gives me this feeling of sometimes I see some of street food. They're talking about street food and I'm so hungry. So it's great seeing that. I just don't like the bullying, and I just don't like when people easily use us or trick us off of social media. That's another thing. The scamming too going on social media. Okay, guys, we're going to stop here because it's just not going to work if we want to go deep into it.
Thank you for sticking with us.
And listening to us ramble.
Yes, this episode, we actually rambled. We decided to just, let it go, let it loose. It's April Fool. Don't take it seriously.
Slide into our DMs. No, I'm just kidding. Slide into our DMs with cool stuff.
Yeah, but anyways, as I always say, share the love, show the love, give a
Share
hug.
us, guys. We want to grow as a community, please. Share the podcast, talk about the podcast, subscribe, please subscribe. And for the few subscribers, I noticed that we had a couple of new subscribers. Welcome to the fold, welcome to the family. Please listen to old episodes, DM us about it. In fact, disturb our DMs with your comments. You can leave voice messages too. You just follow the link on the show notes and you leave voice messages as well. Check us out on Instagram. We are back on Fully. Anyways, we're always there. Participate in our polls and our questionnaires so that we know what we're saying, we know what we're bringing up in the next topic, and we just have fun and grow as a community. It's a safe space for us to grow. And we say these things respectfully. Let's go out there, respect each other, be safe, be kind. Thank you for listening and hope you join me for the next episode. You can always reach us via email at africanteapot@gmail.com and follow us on Instagram at African_teapot.